Guruve Gaura Chanjaya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhischa Kripa Sindhuve Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Shri Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Offering my Dandavat Pranam at the lotus feet of my Guru Parapadma, Nityalela Pravishno, Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa, Astotara Sata Sisyamad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and equally unto my Param Guru Devs, Nityalela Pravishno, Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa, Astotara Sata Sisyamad, Srila Bhakti Pragan Keshav Goswami, and also unto Nityalela Pravishno, Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa, Astotara Sata Sisyamad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, our Srila Prabhupada. Also unto the devotees who may be watching. First and foremost, of course, hope everyone had a very wonderful Janmashtami Mahotsav. And of course, today is Nandotsav. And of course, today is also a very special day, though it's not my subject matter for today. Perhaps later on our phone conference, we'll be doing glorification of our Srila Prabhupada. So it's an extremely auspicious couple of days here. And of course, the glorification could be continuous, just as Ananta Sesha is doing forever and ever, with unlimited mouths and still not reach an end, both in glorifying Sri Krishna Bhagavan and also in glorifying his most dear servant, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, our Srila Prabhupada. So, but I was doing this just to both answer a question. One was actually a live question. One was, two of them were written questions. And one was an observation from a Harikatha session that I saw. And I saw devotees speaking about reconciling this particular thing. So, again, our glorification of the Lotus Feet of our Srila Prabhupada, that will go on tonight on our regular phone conference. And now I'm just trying to give some contribution to reconciling a particular siddhant that seems to be something that is being talked about, especially yesterday. And that is Vrindavanam Parityajya Par Ekam Nigacchati. That Krishna never takes one step out of Vrindavan. And of course, for many devotees yesterday, reading various pastimes of the birth of Sri Krishna, they have come across both the description given by Srila Jiva Goswami Pad of Krishna going from Vrindavan to the dungeon of Kamsa in Mathura and subsuming or taking the form of Chatubhuj Narayan, or Vasudev Krishna there rather, into himself, and then having Vasudev take him back to Vraj. So this brought up the question, well, Krishna never takes one step out of Vrindavan, how does this happen? So, of course, there are many considerations, and there are many reconciliations that have been given, that whenever Krishna leaves, quote, Vrindavan, and goes to Mathura or Dwarka, it should be considered that it is Vasudev Krishna. So this is one reconciliation that's been given, and even discussion of pastimes that have been told regarding Akrur coming to the Jamuna and then taking his bath, and upon taking his bath, witnessing that Krishna and Balaram were both on the chariot and bathing. And so anyway, the gist of that Leela is that at that time, Shankarshan and Vasudev, Krishna, appeared, and that's who was taken to Braj. So there's reconciliation like that as well that we've heard. But in a even more significant way, perhaps, is the idea of considering what is Vrindavan. So Srimati Radhika, when she met Krishna at Kurukshetra, she told, Anya Hridoya Moramana Vrindavan, Mani Vani Eka Karijani. You should know that my mind and my heart, they're not two different things. And my heart is Vrindavan. So really, Vrindavan is a manifestation of the heart of Srimati Radhika. Even it is mentioned about Govardhan. Prakriti Manasa Jatu Giriraj Govardhanaha. That Giriraj is manifest from the heart of Radhika. So if we look from that angle of vision of Braj being a bhav, not just being a locale, then the idea that Krishna never leaves Vrindavan becomes much more expanded. Because we don't have any situation, whether Krishna is in Mathura or later in Dwarka, where his essential bhav is not complete absorption in separation from Vrindavan. In Mathura, he called Uddhav, Gachav Urva Somyam, Pitaro Pratyavaha, Mad Gopi Viyogadim, Mat Sandashaya Vimuchaya. He called Uddhav, oh Uddhav, here in Mathura, I'm greatly in deep separation, and I want you to go and console our parents. Pitaro means our parents, because he felt so close to Uddhava, right? Vishninam Paravo Mantri, he was like the most confidant or confidential person of Krishna outside of Braj. So confiding when he said, listen, my parents are like your parents. We even look alike. Uddhava and Krishna look so similar, right? Go and give consolation to our parents. To my gopis, you cannot do that. Therefore, take my message, right? And then alleviate their separation by giving my message. So I'm not speaking Brahmagita here, but I'm just saying that Krishna, even in Mathura, he remained absorbed in such a deep mood of separation from Vrindavan. Similarly, Dwarka is simply a further expansion of a Virohik Kshetra. Virohik Kshetra means a place where separation can take place. Jiva Goswami in Gopal Champu describes a conversation between Vrinda and Purnamasi. And there in that conversation, Purnamasi states this fact to Vrinda Devi, that Mathura and Dwarka were simply meant to enhance the rasa. You understand? So from one angle of vision, Mathura and Dwarka are not separate places. They're expansions of Braj as Virohe Kshetras, or places of separation from Braj. So try to understand, even for those who are doing the Raganuga Pravritti, it means following the progressive path to come to Rag Marg. So one of the features of Rag Marg is that one should, though following Vidi, right, Savan Kirtanandani, Vaidhi Bhakti Sudanti too. It's not that in doing Raganuga sudden, then you do anything you like, there's no following of Sastra, right? There's no such thing like that, right? But the mood is different. And as part of that, there may be some things which are not done in the progressive path towards Ragmarg or in Ragmarg proper. And one of those things is called Dwarka Dhyan. I brought this up once in a class, and one devotee, he was quite bewildered because he said, listen, he quoted, there are so many chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam that deal with Dwarka Leela. How is it you can say we shouldn't hear Dwarka pastimes? So of course the first cue was, there was never a mention of not hearing the pastimes of Dwarka. There was mention we should not do Dwarka Dhyan. Dwarka Dhyan means to meditate on Dwarka as separate from our essential interest in pursuit of our bhajan life of being Palyadasis of Radhika. If this is your aim and objective in doing bhajan, you will not take a separate vision and meditation of Dwarka outside of the perspective as seen from being a Palyadasi of Srimati Radhika. This is part of your essential practice, right? So from that angle of vision, we will see that Mathura, and then by extension Dwarka, they're creating only a mood of deep separation and longing in Krishna to appreciate and to feel the experience of deep separation. In the depth of separation, Sambhog is nourished. Na vina vipralambena sambhog pushni ashnute. That actually Sambhog has to be nourished by Vipralamba. There are 4 kinds of separation mood. Purvarag, that gives rise to Sankship Sambhog. Man, it gives rise to Sankirna Sambhog. Pravas gives rise to Sampanna Sambhog. And Sudur Pravas means if Krishna will go to a distant place for a long period of time and come under the control of others. This is called Sudur Pravas. The subsequent meeting from Sudur Pravas is called Samriddhiman, or very enriched Sambhog. So it is a necessary ingredient in the fulfillment of the nourishment of meeting. And of course, our Srila Guru Parapadma has told many times the secret of why Krishna leaves Braj. Simply to nourish. Even when Krishna disappeared from the rasa dance, to nourish the mood of meeting, Krishna does these things. So we should not see that Krishna rather has left Vrindavan, but rather Braj is a transcendental place. Shatakoti Gopi Madhavaman. So millions of gopis gathered at the Rasastali. If we are going to look at Braj as a simple locale, then how can millions of gopis fit there? So of course we immediately have heard the answer that the Dham has the ability to expand. So therefore, though the place is Mathura or the place is Dwarka, Krishna's bhav is never Mathura or Dwarka. The feature of the Vaibhav Prakash Vasudev does things like killing the demons, does things like killing Kamsa and all these things. But still, Brajendra Nandan Sri Krishna is still present. I'm giving an evidence for this. Our Param Gurudev, Nitya Leela Prashna, Pad Paramahamsa Astottara Satasya Maracharya Keshri Srila Bhakti Pragan Keshri Goswami Maharaj. He wrote a very beautiful article called Atmanivedana. In that article, he quotes from the Gita Mahatmya or Gita Upanishad. There in that verse in Gita Upanishad, it mentions who was speaking Bhagavad Gita, because we have the conception that Krishna at Kurukshetra speaking Bhagavad Gita is Vasudeva Krishna. That will be so if you take the Samanyanupakyan of Bhagavad Gita. What is Dharma? What is duty? This is spoken by Vasudeva Krishna, who does Dharma Samstapana. Yes, it's Vasudeva Krishna. But if you'll take the deeper meanings of Bhagavad Gita, it has different meanings. Samanyanupakyan, Guya, Guyata, Guyatam, Sava Guyatam. If you take deeper meaning of Bhagavad Gita, then the speaker of Bhagavad Gita, as quoted from this Gita Upanishad, Gita Mahatmya, Sava Upanasado Gavo Dugdha Nandana Gopala Pattavatsa Sudhiya Bhokta Dugdha Gita Amritam Mahat. It says that those who are thoughtful, those high class of devotees, they should drink the nectar of Bhagavad Gita that was spoken by the milkman of Braj. He used Arjuna, Parthavatsa, as a calf, because if you want to extract milk from a cow, you need to bring a calf. So similarly, to extract the nectar of the deep mood of separation from Braj that was in Krishna's heart, that was now being stimulated by the Udipan of having returned to Kurukshetra, which is the very place he last met Brijabasis, right? Bringing Arjuna close to him, right? It extracted that nectar from his heart. So this is Sarvaguyatam Kata of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is very deep, rasik sastra. You understand? So here it's proven also in Sastra that the speaker of Bhagavad Gita, and confirmed by our Param Gurudev, the speaker of Bhagavad Gita is Rajendra Nandan Sri Krishna. It will depend on what angle of vision you're looking at Bhagavad Gita. So if Krishna never takes one step out of Vrindavan, how is he speaking Bhagavad Gita there as Rajendra Nandan Krishna and not Vasudeva Krishna? Because the bhav, Braj bhav, is there. And Vrindavan means the bhav. It doesn't mean just the locale. Gurudev would always say on his visits that I've never left Vrindavan. Gurudev would look at the ocean and it would remind him of Jamuna. Mahaprabhu in his Leela, in Puri. If you'll see Chatak Parvat, he'll think of Govardhan. If you'll see the ocean, he'll think of the Jamuna. At Tota Gopinath, he considered this is Braj directly. And in the Rath Yatra, he considered that bringing Krishna from Dwarka, the Puri temple, back to Braj was bringing to Tota Gopinath. So Braj is a bhav. It is not just a locale. And Krishna never gives up Braj bhav. Therefore, he never takes any step out of Vrindavan. Because he's always immersed in this Braj bhav. He never really leaves. Similarly, even practically speaking, because there's no difference between the bhav and the prasana, Krishna is always present in Braj. Therefore, you hear that even in Krishna's absence, the gopis would have sporti, right? And these sportis are non-different from Krishna, right? They see it as a vision only after its disappearance, and it intensifies their separation mood. But Krishna is telling, no, I'm actually here. Also, when Uddhav first came to Braj, Srila Gurudev used to describe when Uddhav pulled into Braj, he saw Braj in the prakosht of Braj as it was or as it is when Krishna is present. And then to show the mood of separation, that prakosht was drawn and the prakosht of Krishna absent, quote, from Braj is shown. So everything is regarding a bhav, not a locale. And the estimate of Krishna not taking one step out of Vrindavan based on whether or not there is any, quote, observation of him physically doing gamana agamana or going and coming to Mathura and Dwarka, and of course in Gopal Champu even returning to Braj after killing Dantavakra, then this is not really the clearest vision. We'll see that actually Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Even in Dwarka, he's looking in a pillar. Aparakalita purvakas chamatkarakari. Spurati mama gharyan madhura eshapura. Ahanya hanta preksha labda cheta sarabasam upabhoktam akamaye radhika eva. Krishna looking in a pillar in Dwarka sees himself, and lupta chait means like an impetuousness comes over him. Sarabhasam upabhoktam, arising that I want to enjoy this form, which is the complete pura, like the complete embodiment of all sweetness. And crazily, I want to enjoy it, Radhika Eva, like Radhika enjoys. So this verse quoted in Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's Chaitanya Charitamrita is actually taken from Vidagdha Madhava. You understand? So Rupa Goswami, even in writing Vidagdha Madhava, Lalit Madhava, was hinting how really everything is simply an expansion of Braj. But for Rasa Samagri, especially of meeting and separation, Mahaprabhu told you write in 2 dramas. Because you know in Lalit Madhav, he describes how gopis in the depth of their separation give up their lives, become queens in Dwarka. We know that's not the actual, so to speak, thing. Of course, we know in Tattva Vichar that the Mahishis of Dwarka and all Lakshmi, they're expansions of Shakti Tattva. This is one thing. But in Ras Vichar, then clearly this is not what happens. But it's showing, Rupa Goswami was simultaneously showing, there is no such thing as Krishna being out of Brajabhav. Always there may be additions, like Vishnu killing demons, or doing Dharma Samstapan, or any of these things. But Brajabhav never leaves Krishna. Therefore, in that reality, Krishna never takes one step out of the real meaning of what is Braj. Very interestingly, just to conclude, devotees, when they established the temple in Delhi, they named the deities there Radha Parthasarati. So, of course, when you hear this, it is the complete seeming epitome of Rasabas. Right? And many devotees criticize and critique, oh, this is, come on. Right? Right? That you're mixing Krishna on the battle of Kurukshetra and then Radha. And so how did you reconcile all this? When they brought this to Srila Prabhupada, of course, was not happy because the naming was taken probably in liberty of whatever understanding may have been prevalent, right? And it certainly was not steeped in Ras Vichar, right? But Srila Prabhupada made an amazing statement. Radhika is always with Krishna. You understand? So it was such a deep, from Srila Prabhupada's angle of vision, it was such a deep statement. And then if you notice Savaguyatam Katha of Bhagavad Gita, that's a fact. Krishna's giving catharsis on his separation from Radhika to Arjuna. And if you have any doubt about whether Krishna would speak to Arjuna about this, go to Adi Lila chapter 4 and look in the latter part of Adi Lila chapter 4. And Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is quoting from the Adi Puran about how Krishna speaks to Arjuna about the unlimited love of the gopis. So, point being, the reconciliation of Krishna never taking one step out of Vrindavan, the deeper analysis will never be from an observation and trying to reconcile the observation of his going and coming to Mathura and Dwarka. But it will be on the platform of whether Krishna ever gives up Braj Bhav. Braj Bhav, Braj Dham, Braj Vasis is one. That praman we have from Radhika's own mouth. Mani Vani Eka Kari Jani. So this is the reconciliation that I thought to contribute from our acharyas and from the lotus mouth of my Guru Parapadma and others of reconciling how Krishna never takes one step out of Vrindavan. My Dandavat Pranam to all the devotees, and I avail, of course, to any corrections or additions that may be there. And hopefully everybody has a very, very blissful celebration of the Mahotsav of our Srila Prabhupada and Nandotsav. Jai Vanchakalpaturuvishcha Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Radhe Radhe.